Do I sound better here?
Say it again.
I sound better here?
Yeah. All right, we on live. I'm about to put the what's the name? What up, people? What up, people? Back for our third episode, the Ravens Amped Up podcast. It's your boy K here with my man Charles.
What's happening?
Not much. We about to get right into it. Um, well, before we get into this week's game, let's talk. We know we got to talk about week 2 versus the Arizona Cardinals, the 22nd preseason win in a row. So, what was your impressions of the first game?
I'm gonna go off your Facebook post. Get Likely out the game
Yeah,
now.
I don't even want to see him today.
You may see him a drive or two, but he was impressive. Tyler Huntley was impressive.
Yeah,
Um,
look real good.
Defense was okay. Wouldn't
Yeah.
say. I was really impressed by Jordan Stout though. How
Hmm.
he's able to like pin people, and to hear y'all say he got 15 different punts
Already, yeah,
with one leg, Nick. Wait, hold on, sir. How you got all these punts with one leg, man?
right.
But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with that, man. Of course, likely, but I'm kind of expecting that out of him now, right? Like after,
Yeah,
I mean, if
It-
he
it-
went out and scored 3 touchdowns this week, it wouldn't surprise you. You would kind of expect it from him.
but the bad thing is, I don't think he's gonna get as many opportunities as he. I mean, he had
No,
8 catches on 15 snaps.
no, he shouldn't. He shouldn't get all his opportunities after 1 or 2 drives. Josh Oliver should be out there.
No, no, no,
Uh,
no. I'm talking about in the regular season.
oh well, no, no. I think he's gonna be wide receiver number two, and me, I'm not wide receiver, tight end number two. And you got to remember, in this
Yeah,
offense, the tight ends are money, right? Anybody that had
yeah,
Mark Andrews fantasy, they'll tell you the tight ends are money in this offense.
yeah. But is it enough balls for both of them to eat?
Well,
That's
you
the
remember
question.
you don't have any dominant wide receivers, right? So
Hmm.
it's not like they're gonna be splitting it with that. I mean, if they splitting it with Bateman, but everybody else been hurt. Like we still haven't identified a number two. And in all actuality, like likely give me like that Anquan Bolden feel, right? Not fast, but physical, got moves, can catch. Not saying he's Anquan Bolden right now because Anquan Bolden wasn't the fastest person coming out of FSU. He wasn't, right? But he was just tough.
Yeah, he was never fast.
Right, right. So he was tough though.
Right.
So he giving me that being able to find the zone, catch the ball, um, read defenses, and that's huge early on, right? Huge. And the Ravens offense attacks the middle of the field. So when you flag both of them, you put both of them out there, and they're on the opposite side of each other. Of course, Andrews is going to get the. If you had to double somebody, it's going to be Andrews, right? So
Yeah.
likely
So
it's going to be 1-on-1,
with who? A linebacker? If it's a linebacker, it's a wrap.
right? But even if it's a cornerback, he's not his game not to run past you. He's going to body you out and
Yeah.
just find a place to a spot in the zone to catch it.
So
So
my question would be: do you want to see him in the game today? I don't.
he's still a rookie. I will say one series. I definitely want to see him going into the first deep into the first quarter. So one series, maybe two at that. Um, but you never know with the Ravens. They was playing Nick Boyle in the third and fourth quarter last
That
game.
that
So
should tell you. That should tell you something.
yeah, I think that
That should tell you something.
they trying to give him some bump as far as
Yeah,
some
he
playing time.
yeah he come back from that injury. So
Yeah. So give me likely for maybe 2 drives, 2 series, and then Josh Oliver gonna have to kind of ride that thing out the rest of the way.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let's address this big rumor that's been going around. I don't even know if you heard it or not. That teams are calling for Tyler Huntley.
Okay, I've heard that, but
Would you be
it's
open to it?
for a second round pick. You can't give me a third or a fourth round pick, right? Because that's
Hmm.
in retrospect, that's what a comp pick would be.
Right.
So it had to be a second. It would have to be a second.
And I'm thinking if the Ravens think they're really Super Bowl contenders this year,
Hmm.
you keep them.
Yeah, I mean, they would have
Unless
to
they
be
come with a first
overwhelmed.
round pick. Unless
Well,
they come with a first round pick, you keep them.
so let's say the Seahawks asked you, look, we like Tyler Huntley, we'll give you a second round pick for him.
All right,
Now,
you giving me what's their backup quarterback? Who they got? They got Tyrod? No, they don't have Tyrod, did they? Who they got?
no, they got
Um,
Drew Lock,
they
um,
got a black quarterback too.
Geno Smith. Not Geno Smith. What's
Yeah,
the boy name? Is that Geno Smith?
yeah, it might be Geno Smith.
Yeah, he's starting. I just read on ESPN he's supposed to be starting for them. And they tagged him the number one quarterback. They're number one. So
So if you give me Geno Smith too, then I think about it.
nah. So if the Ravens make any kind of trade, I would want like Tyler Lockett for um not Tyrod, Huntley. That's the only thing. Like you would have to bring a bona fide number one in or a bona fide number two in for me to get off of him. Or uh, I doubt he fetch a first round pick, but a second round
Mhm.
pick, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's more likely.
Yeah,
Drew had
I
a whole
agree.
3
Drew's horrible,
picks. Well,
horrible.
that'll
He was
let you know
horrible in
why.
Denver.
That'll let you know why he ain't win that spot.
He was horrible in Denver. I mean, LA
Yeah,
ain't good
not a good
at
GM.
that part. Not that part, right?
Nah, not a good.
But
He's the same one. He didn't he draft Tebow?
no. What's your boy name from the Patriots? He wanted them.
Yeah,
Their
but he was the
coordinator.
GM though, right?
Yeah, but he wanted them. He was a coach. He wanted them.
Yeah,
Josh
but
McDaniel.
if
That's
you're the
who.
GM, you got the final say on that.
Yeah,
You got the
I
final say
agree.
on that.
But
Yeah,
no,
so
he's horrible. But the only way I would, like I said, only way I would come up off of him if he gave me, if whomever gave me a number two pick, and if it was a team that was sorry, then that number two pick would be a high second round pick.
yeah.
So
Who's that? Who's our third string Brown? I think his last name.
I don't know his name.
If he if he comes out and plays, he didn't play bad. Elway quarterbacks equal Ozzy wide receiver.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah,
right.
I'll take that.
That's about right.
But in speaking on Ozzy wide receivers, the Ravens haven't. I keep saying this, like they haven't until last year. They haven't really bought any bona fide great wide receiver coaches in that was
Hmm.
known for developing wide receivers. That's why we can't develop wide receivers, right? You can draft whomever, but you gotta. Devontae Adams wasn't Devontae Adams now. He got developed.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill developed. Antonio Brown developed. All these dudes, they weren't high first round picks. So we never bring until recently bring people here and develop them. Now I tell you what we do develop, and these guys go off and become coaches elsewhere. Linebacker coaches.
Coaches, period.
Yeah, if you look at any of our linebacker coaches or our DCs, they go off and become coaches. That's how
Hmm.
that's how you do it here. But they
And,
definitely
and
don't. Mm-mm.
Anthony Weaver. Anthony Weaver's going to be the next one.
He up next,
Yeah.
right? Well, McDonald, if anything, like if he do well here
Hmm.
because he has the pedigree that he did well in Michigan, turned that defense around. He come here because he got the pieces. Only had to move us to maybe a top 10 defense. The next 2 years, you're gonna hear about him and head coaches, but we haven't had one wide receiver coach.
Nah,
One, one. They say,
nah.
hey, let's make him an offensive coordinator, right?
I can only think of one offensive coach, period, that got a job after they leave here, and that was Kubiak.
Yeah, but think about this. Kubiak had a pedigree before he got here. Like
Yeah,
he was money
yeah.
in Denver, right? So we were
Hmm.
just lucky to have him at that point. He brought his system here, proven system. But Greg Roman, he's been the same dude everywhere he went, right? Buffalo, they can run the ball, wasn't passing. Like that's just the offense that they run. But even in that, you never heard anybody talk about their wide receivers. And everywhere that there are great wide receivers, there are great wide receiver coaches. Like these dudes
Yeah.
just don't happen to be nice. It's guys that jump off the bus and they first round picks. I can go to what's the boy name? Carlos Rogers, I think his name went to the Lions. He was
Yeah.
killing in Michigan State, but didn't have a wide receiver coach and never developed. Rashard
Yeah.
Perriman didn't have a wide receiver coach and never and early on is the time to do that.
Oh
But
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the
Definitely.
Ravens don't until now, because it's a passing league, you gotta have somebody who's gonna develop these boys. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I like what I saw from Bateman last year. The little bit
hmm
of time he did play. Hollywood would have been good if it wasn't for the drops.
Hollywood would have been great
And you
if it
can't.
wanted to
That's
drop.
that's that's a concentration thing.
Yeah, Hollywood
No.
would have been great. He would have been a Pro Bowler, and had he not dropped, had he caught half of the balls he dropped, he would have been a Pro Bowler because
Yeah.
he would have been double digit touchdowns, at least 12 to 1,300 yards receiving. He'd have been a
Yeah.
Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
So, and had Lamar stayed healthy, that probably would have worked out for him.
Yeah. Carlos Rogers. Yeah, he did have some other stuff going on.
I mean, that's true, but I can go to like several teams that that's what they do. They develop Pittsburgh. My point exactly. You whoever's developing Pittsburgh wide receivers,
Yeah.
can we
Yeah.
before because I'm confident who we got now, but it's not a trend like they Antonio Brown was what a 6th round pick
Yeah. I'm
returning
crazy.
punt.
Look, this would tell us everything we need to know, right? Let's see what happened with Miles Boykin this year.
Yep.
That'll tell us everything we need to know.
Yeah. But you remember he had one, 2 years of not being developed early on, right?
Hmm.
So they got to break bad habits, and he behind the 8 ball. He got
Yeah.
a lot of receivers over there in front of him. Remember
Yeah.
they got the boy from Clemson
Pickens.
who killing.
Yeah. So
So
it's gonna be hard. Oh, he might be a cut.
yeah,
Might be a cut.
it's possible. I mean, it's not like
Ravens.
they gave him big money.
Ravens bring him back if he get cut.
No,
You don't think so?
no, they wouldn't have let him go because
Yeah, but
he didn't.
I think
He
they
did.
had the intention of adding somebody,
They
and it
didn't
just
save us money. Like he didn't save us money, right? It
yeah
wasn't like a salary savings.
no. But they also had the. I'm assuming they had the intention of bringing somebody in, and they had the intention of having everybody healthy. So we know that what's his name? Out wide receiver number 16
What was that? Tyler Wallace?
Wallace.
Hmm?
He's hurt. They just brought in Robinson.
Yeah,
So,
Prochet's hurt.
yeah, so we kind of who we going into week one with right now?
Bateman, Duvernay, Robinson, and I would say Prochet be back by then.
Yeah, let's
He said
see.
Ravens. I think the Ravens got offensive talent. They probably got the third best tight end in the league. Oh, they
Yeah,
don't bring back. Oh,
yeah, because
what?
on defense they quick to recycle somebody on defense.
That's
I
true.
mean, look at Means. You got
Yeah, but
Pierce.
that's like 7, 8 years later though, right? So they don't really.
Yeah, it
And
don't
then
matter. It
and
don't
then
matter.
Pierce is like he kind of um priced his way out of Baltimore, right? They paid him big
Yeah,
money.
yeah, yeah. He got big money
Yeah,
and with the Vikings. Try to bring Zadarius back.
yeah. But think about what we're saying. We're talking about offense versus defense. How many offensive players left here and was killing? Where you was like, yeah, let's bring them back.
Yeah, no. Only
Exactly.
one I can think of that had decent success when he left here was Torrey Smith. that I can think of off the top of my
Mm-hmm.
head. I
But
mean, of
I
course,
mean,
unless you go all the way back to like Priest Holmes or somebody like that, but yeah, nobody's can't think of
right.
nobody. I mean, then there's the people that took off after he left here, like Darren Waller,
Well,
but
he
that's
had
a
his own
different.
demons too, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
that's a different scenario.
he didn't really give us. But what one thing the Ravens are great at, they are outstanding at, probably better than anybody in the league drafting tight ends.
Yeah,
You
especially
look
in
at
the
the
middle
lineage over
rounds.
the last, let's say, 15 years. You
I can't
said
remember the Ravens not having a good tight end.
right. So they went from Shannon Sharp to Todd Heap,
Hmm.
from Todd Heap to Dennis
Don't
Pitta.
forget Ben Coates.
But
Had Ben
but he
Coates
came
as your
somewhere else.
pick.
I'm talking about like we had Heap, Dennis Pitta, right? That
Hmm.
it's not a lot of drop off at all. Then they draft Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews in the same draft.
You know what's funny? Every time they draft two tight ends the same year, the later pick ends up being a
Very
better
nice,
pick.
yeah.
Because it
Well,
happened when it was, I think it was Ed Dixon
Ed Dixon, Dennis Pitta.
and Pitta. Then they did Hayden Hurst was a first round pick.
Hmm.
Mark Andrews was like what a fourth round pick.
But we look,
And then this year so far we got Kohler, who was picked up before likely in the same round though, both in the fourth round.
and we just talking about just that position, right?
Yeah, he was a wide receiver.
That's true.
Yep.
He didn't go up, but even in that, just like we talk about Carlos Rogers, he had some issues that he was dealing with outside of football, and the Ravens the ones put him on as far as he was going to get cut. Oakland asked like, "Who is that dude?" And they was like Darren Waller, and spoke big about him. And Oakland picked him up once they moved on from him. So
Yeah, but they also that tight end transition happened while he was still with the Ravens. Because
yeah,
I remember that preseason that they was trying him out at tight end. He had to
and
pick.
that's what made Oakland look at him, right?
Yeah,
So, but imagine this. Imagine if we were able to develop wide receivers like we develop tight ends.
yeah, it'd be a whole another
Exactly.
ball
Is
game.
exactly right. It's easily
I mean,
top
not
one or
just.
two in the league in developing tight ends.
I mean, look at how they develop defensive linemen.
Hmm. Yeah,
But yeah, wide receiver, they
but
just
that's what
don't
I'm
have
saying.
it.
Now they finally have a system or people in here that actually develop with them, whether it's
Yeah,
drills or routine or helping them in and out their breaks or teaching them position. Not saying that we have the next Tyreek Hill on our team, but whatever Tyreek Hill had in him, somebody had to develop.
yeah, that's for sure. Because if you look at the undrafted defensive linemen that left the Ravens for big deals.
Hmm.
That's just tell you right there that they taking these no name players
Hmm.
and getting them paid.
Or in the later rounds, like Brandon Williams wasn't a high draft pick,
Yeah,
right? It's
Pierce
not.
was undrafted.
This what's his name? Our highest pick, um, defensive lineman, Haloti Nada, right?
Yeah, he was first round though, but look what he turned out to be
Well,
though.
look what he turned out to be. So you get
Yeah,
that talent in the first
yeah.
round, and then that development also, and look what
Mhm.
he turned out to be.
I mean, go all the way back to Suggs.
You get that talent, and look what they turn out to be.
Yeah.
So I mean, development wise,
I
that's
mean,
for me.
we do have some examples of players that didn't turn out, but there's not that many compared to the ones that did.
No, I mean you look at Zachary Orr before he got hurt, he was
Yeah.
balling, right?
I mean,
That's development,
look at Josh Bynes. Look how
balling.
long he been playing in the league.
Those positions, the Ravens do something, and even DB to a certain extent. Tavon Young,
Yeah,
you
Darius
know,
Webb,
Darius Webb. That again, it's
Chuck
all
Clark.
about the development. Bringing those people in here that specialize. Or first of all, you have to see value in it, right? So if you
Mhm.
don't see any value in it, you're not going to bring nobody in. And the
I can't.
Ravens see value in. Well, they got a franchise. They have a franchise quarterback, right?
Mhm.
So you want to do what you got to do to make yo happy too. So
I mean, but
you know,
I can almost say that about every position but wide receiver. Like
yeah,
you got the no name offensive lineman that they brought up. Couple running backs that I can think of. I mean, look at Gus Edwards.
yeah.
I mean,
You
of course, you look at your fullbacks and all of those, but like,
uh,
yeah, wide receivers, wide receivers
no
at one
development,
position, they
right?
didn't
No
never
development.
develop anybody.
Even O line, right? Marshall Yonder wasn't this high pick,
You know?
but he's arguably the best or the second best Raven offensive lineman in team history.
I mean,
People can argue
look at Orlando Brown.
again, but I say Marshall Yonder because you put Marshall Yonder anywhere on that line and besides center,
Mm-hmm.
and he was giving you all pro production. That's development. Like to be
Yeah.
able to see what he do and put him in a position to win. And no, I don't. I didn't see that, or I haven't seen that for a while with the team. Most recently, um, with T. Martin and the crew, I think they really starting to develop them now. I don't know. Yeah, you don't have to be rich at every position, but
You can be
we
decent.
talking about
We've been
you can
striking out at wide receiver.
yeah, not just striking out, but we talking about the development of. So Pittsburgh not rich at wide receiver. They develop them, right? You get Antonio Brown in the later rounds, and you develop that. You took Hines Ward, who was a quarterback in college, and you developed that. I mean, we can go on and on and on in Pittsburgh, but
Antoine Randall L.
yeah, we can go on and
Yeah.
on and on with that. Just in that
Chase Claypool.
franchise,
Yeah.
they develop wide receivers, right? Like you said, whoever they have in Pittsburgh developing their wide receivers, good job, right? They don't do nothing at developing cornerbacks, but developing wide receivers, good job. Can't take
And,
nothing away
and
from.
then you know what's funny? Wasn't Tomlin a DB coach?
Yeah, he was a DB coach, defensive coach. So that's in his pedigree. But again, I mean Harbaugh was a special teams coach, right? So that's why we able to transition from Matt Stover to Billy Cundiff, and they get Justin Tucker, the best kicker, arguably in NFL history,
Who's the
on that
no?
team.
We had another kicker after Stover. It was pretty good. Not Cundiff, but um,
So that's
Hauschka. I
we
think he
we.
might still be in the league.
Well, I know he kicked for Seattle. He kicked for Houston
Hmm.
recently. So, but again, even in that, we got Sam Cook. He punted for us for what, 14, 15 years?
Yeah.
They see value in that position. But that goes back to the early Ravens, right? They saw they saw value in special teams and defense. Yep.
Mhm.
Cordell also. They saw value in special teams and defense. And that's where primarily our players are being developed. And we could talk about Bart Scott. We could talk about Adelius Thomas. We could just name a plethora of people.
Kelly
There was
Gregg.
Kelly Gregg. That wasn't high on anybody's radar, but somehow the Ravens got them to become great at that position, right?
And you
And
I don't think you can say that about not one receiver that I can think of off the top of my head that they drafted late that put up numbers.
no, the highest receivers that they drafted
Maybe
that
Kamar Aiken, maybe, and that was like
that
for a year.
yeah, I mean, I think when you was having this debate, Torrey Smith for Hollywood, and I picked Torrey Smith, right? That's the
Oh,
highest.
well, he was second round, right?
Who, Torrey Smith?
Yeah,
I think so.
because I want to say he was the same. Was he the same year as Ray Rice?
Then Ray Rice is second round.
It probably wasn't the
Ray,
first round though. It might have been the first round.
I know Ray Rice was a second round pick,
Yeah, I know Ray Rice was second. Yeah, it might have been the first round though.
but production wise, stat wise, and we talk about the offense that was that was a run first offense. I'm talking hand the ball to the running back. The
Mm-hmm.
running back gonna get 30 carries, right? Won't have to worry about a mobile quarterback. Flacco ain't. He'll get out of trouble when he have to, but he's not mobile. So we're gonna get Justin Forsett. That was a bum everywhere else, and he gonna be nice here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get the dude. What's his name? Was in Seattle. He was
Oh,
going.
the guy locked up, and
Might,
Alex Collins.
there you go.
Alex Collins.
Now we could talk about a whole bunch of running backs. That,
Mm-hmm.
but wide receiver, running back coach, tight end coach,
Chester Taylor.
Chester Taylor. It's a lot of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see what they do when you got a first round talent, Jamal Lewis, and you got somebody that's going to develop them. This is what you get,
Right.
right? It's just what it is. And Jamal Lewis, I mean, you look at who's going into the Hall of Fame. He has he has a case. Of course, not
I don't think he's
first
gonna
ballot.
make it though.
No, but if Eli can get consideration, right?
If Eli can get consideration, they need to talk about Joe. They like the
We
same person to me.
if Terrell Davis is getting consideration. I mean, it's who was the last running back to win that? They had a good career, but not great career. And he just, I'll pull it up our next episode. But
Marshawn Lynch.
he's got Marshawn ain't go yet.
He ain't
And I
go
don't
with.
think, no, I don't think they're gonna give it to him.
No, I'm talking about they had a good career that just retired.
Yeah, but I mean Jamal Lewis, 2,000 yards, couple 1,800 yard seasons. He was the bell cow of the defense. You look at from
If
99 to 2000, and I'm gonna say 2006.
did
He
Priest
put
Holmes make it?
he didn't go up yet.
He's been out the league longer than some 5 years.
Yeah, but you remember, it's all about who you competing against, like what class you're going against. So he done ran up into the Peyton Manning class, and it's the culture here though. Okay, J. Lou doesn't go.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think Marshawn Lynch got a better chance than him.
Tell me why.
Just to look at his overall production over his whole career. You know,
It's not.
he kind of went downhill when he went to Cleveland.
I don't think it's close to J. Lou numbers. I don't think
Um,
so.
I'm just going off the eye test. I haven't actually looked at that
That's
number.
because you know why? That's because it's more recent, right? Nobody
Yeah.
going back to 1999 and digging that up.
But did he
And
really put up any numbers in Cleveland? I can't. I remember him being hurt most
he
of
went
the
over
time.
1,000.
I mean, 1,000 was nothing back then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. His stats are.
And who's this? Marshawn Lynch, or this is or
I'm looking at Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis. Okay.
Yeah. So 2000, he went over 1,300. He got over 10,000 yards rushing.
All right.
10,000 yards, 58 touchdowns.
All right. Let's see Marshawn. Let's see what Marshawn looking like.
I got you.
So I'm thinking Marshawn should have at least 10,000. You know, you got to think of the years in Buffalo, then those years in Seattle.
Nah, that's all he got is 10,000, bro.
So they about how many touchdowns?
85.
So yeah, he got more than Jamal.
But he played longer than Jamal too.
Yeah, Jamal. Like I said, Jamal was hurt a lot too.
Man, it's all subjective at the end of the day, right?
And how many
You
Super
know,
Bowls he got? Two
no,
or
he got
one?
one. Remember they
Oh
didn't
yeah,
give him the ball on
they
his
should
own.
have had two.
He should have
Should have
had two, right?
should have had
Yeah.
two.
So
Should have had two.
I think you know, all this Hall of Fame talk becomes subjective after a while, but I guess the point I'm making is it's open. It's an open conversation, right? We can. Who would think that their stats were that parallel or that similar? They both went over um,
Yeah,
10,000 yards. So
decent career. So look, we got about 15 minutes left, and this is probably going to be our last show before the regular season. So we're going to do real quick roster prediction. So I'm gonna go through the position. I mean, you go through the positions. You tell me who you think makes the team. All right. So quarterback is pretty easy. Who you got?
come on, man. Come on, give me something harder than that. But um, Lamar
I was
Jackson
just keeping it
and
for the
Tyler
record.
Huntley and
Just keeping
Tyler
it for the
Huntley.
records. That's all. All right. So we got two at quarterback. All right, running back.
Um, so Gus is hurt.
So he's on. All right,
So
he's on PUP. So I don't think he
right.
counts
So I mean, we're
towards
gonna
that.
include him, but he doesn't actually count in the numbers right now, right?
No, he don't count towards the 53.
I don't think they're gonna let him go though. I mean, even
No,
when
no,
I
no.
think he's gonna come back,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna get cut. So um, Davis,
Mhm.
Justice Hill,
Mhm.
Beatty, and the other one's a layup, man. It's your man,
JK.
right? J.K.
JK.
Dobbins for the win.
All right. So that's four, right?
Yep.
All right. So now we have six. Then we're gonna add our four back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seven.
Ricard. Mm-hmm.
All right. Now what's our wide receivers looking like?
Robinson, Prochet, uh, Bateman, Tyler Wallace, Duvernay,
That's five.
and that's what I'm gonna go with right now.
So that's saying Bridges doesn't make the team.
I don't think
Ben,
he make it.
Benjamin doesn't make the team.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So we're going with five receivers. All right. So that puts us at 13. Now
Mhm.
who's your lineman?
Your boy just came off PUP.
Yeah, Stanley.
So Stanley, uh, Linderbaum,
You just came back.
Morgan Moses, um, Patrick McCarry, uh, who else?
Powers.
Tyree Phillips. I think they trade Powers. I think that's
I mean, what you realistically gonna get for him?
you probably get a if you go to Tampa Bay, you probably get a fourth round pick for him. A third or a fourth round pick, but I think you can get a fourth round pick for him. You don't think so?
Yeah, but would you rather have that depth versus a fourth round pick?
I agree. Um, I don't know, man. I don't. I think that he gets if they don't trade him, they keep him, right? Like Tyree
Hmm.
Phillips is going to stay there. Um, David Sharp, Ben Cleveland, Kevin Zeitler.
What you think is gonna be that opening day starting five?
Um, so if Ronnie Stanley plays, I think it'll be Ronnie Stanley, Ben Powers, uh, Tyler Linderbaum, uh, Kevin Zeitler, Morgan Moses. I think that'll be the starting five.
Okay.
If he does not play, Juwan James, Ben Powers, Linderbaum, Kevin Zeitler, and Morgan Moses.
All right. So what we thinking on tight ends? How many tight ends we keeping?
Four, likely Andrews, Nick Boyle, and the dude we drafted that's hurt,
Cola.
Cola.
Is he going to start the season on PUP?
I think so.
Because has he even practiced yet?
No, he still hasn't practiced since his surgery.
Yeah, so we're probably not going to see him to week 6, if that. All right, so we off to defense. Let's go with our defensive linemen, defensive
Uh,
tackles.
so Michael Pierce,
Hmm.
Travis Jones is hurt, so he'll probably be out the first 2 games.
I think he still will be on the 53 at the beginning of the season.
It's possible. I just don't think he's going to play, but I definitely got him on the 53. So we're just doing defensive line, right?
Tackles right now.
Or just tackles.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, Michael Pierce, Travis Jones. Um, I think Aaron Crawford has a good chance of making it, especially if he produced tonight.
Hmm. What's the number Mac? What you think about
Oh,
Mac?
so Isaiah Mack, he played. Um, so Isaiah Mack played defensive tackle. The people I just mentioned, they played nose tackle, just in the
Yeah,
3-4 scheme. So
yeah.
he still play on the outside. So I think Metabike, Broderick Washington, and Isaiah Mack have a chance. And then um, Calais Campbell and Brent Irvin have a chance.
Okay. All right, linebackers.
Adafio Way, Justin Houston, Stephen Means.
You think
Um,
Means makes the team?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Um, Patrick Queen, Malik Harrison, John Ross, Josh Bonds.
All right. Now this probably gonna be the hardest one right here. The secondary. There's gonna be a
Okay.
lot of hard decisions in the secondary.
Yeah. So let's go with the locks. Marcus Peters,
Hmm.
Marlon Humphreys,
Hmm.
Chuck Clark, Marcus Williams, um, Pepe Williams, Jalen Armour Davis, Brandon Stevens, Kyle Fuller, Geno Stone, Tony Jefferson.
You forgot somebody.
I said Marcus Williams, Chuck Clark,
Hmm.
Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphreys, Brandon Stevens, Tony Jefferson. Oh, Kyle Hamilton, of course.
But I say, he ain't getting cut.
Yeah, Kyle Fuller, Geno Stone.
You saying these locks? Because some of these people you saying, I don't think it's locks.
I think they're gonna make it. I went with the locks. I said the first 5 were locks,
Okay.
but I think everybody else has a good chance of making it.
I think we'll have a good idea of the people that's on the bubble when we see who's playing in the third quarter still.
Correct.
So I'm thinking, and this is probably one of the fan favorites, but Tony Jefferson. I don't think he's a lock to make this team.
Well, the only reason why I said I know he plays teams, right? He plays special teams,
Hmm.
and in a pinch he could give you some, like last year, some relief at safety. So I don't think he's gonna see a lot of time at safety because he got some heavy hitters in front of him between Fuller. When they go 3 safeties, they're gonna play not Fuller, Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams, and Chuck Clark. That's gonna be the 3 safeties
Yeah,
without question.
but then we're looking at Ardarius Washington
I don't think he's gonna make it.
and looking at Geno Stone.
I think Geno Stone gonna make it.
So do they need both of them? Because you got to think Brandon Stevens can also play safety.
Yeah, but they're gonna have him like you've been seeing him this preseason. They just been lining him up straight at cornerback,
Hmm. Who
right?
who you saying is a lot? Are you talking about?
Tony Jefferson.
Because I don't know
Special
if
teams
he's a
is
lot. Just
that's big for
yeah,
Harbaugh. right?
It
That's
is.
big. Got- I mean, they drafted people. They had free agents they signed just for special teams. So that show you where they see their value at. Um, but I think people like what's the dude name? Daryl Worley.
Cut.
He's out of there. Kayvon Seymour. He's out of there.
Cut. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna make it.
But I think the hard decisions are going to be, for one, what they go do with Darius Washington. Even though he might be getting cut, I think they like him. So
Well, yeah, but
Darius.
that he would have to agree to it. One, he would have to agree to join the practice squad. Two, he have to make sure nobody else sign him, right? Because they had to sign him, they had to bring him to their 53-man roster, and that's probably where we're gonna get hit at because people see that we got talent in the secondary, so people are going to try to definitely kind of purge us in that area.
Yeah, that's why I don't think. I think that's why Geno Stone makes the team.
I
Because
think, I,
normally that's somebody they would try to stash on the practice squad, but
yeah, I think Geno makes the team. I absolutely think. I think that he definitely makes the team. But I think Darius Washington, Geno makes the team, making it easier for them to let go of Darius Washington.
mm-hmm,
Right? It's like you can't have both.
yeah.
So
And I think it's funny. This is the first year I think they didn't bring in another kicker or another punter.
well, ain't no point in lying to yourself.
No, but you see what happened the last time they did that? They flipped it to a fourth round pick, and a lot of times they like to save their legs during camp.
Well, they brought one in. They brought a punter, and you remember your punter was kicking field goals also. So a lot of that was off tuck, but you won't see one of them out there. That one of them, I know they signed a kicker that used to play for the Rams to play today. So I don't know how much you get paid for one game.
Or the Ravens signed a kicker.
Yeah, he's playing one game, right? That's can you imagine the job certainty that you're going to with that? Yeah, you got one game, right? But that's what it is. We'll see. But I think I want to
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
I want to know. They don't sign Robinson if they believe in um, what's his name, Shamar.
I think they signed him because of Tylen Wallace is hurt.
But as far as speed, he's the same build as what you got on the bench, and the fact that he didn't give you anything the last game, right? And I think we was talking about that. People think he gonna go off.
Who's
They,
that?
what's his name? Shamar Bridges.
Yeah, he didn't do much
I was
last.
about to call a dude Shamar Moore, but in any case, Bridges
Look,
didn't
but
give you anything.
so with all that being said, give me your top 5 players that this game is very important for, that has the opportunity to make or break their career in this game.
Okay, cool. Shamar Bridges,
Mm-hmm. Definitely one of them.
he'll be one. I'm gonna say Tony Jefferson because he didn't play well last game.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Um, Darius Washington. I think Josh Ross he makes the team, right?
You
But
said the
because
linebacker?
because he makes the team, Christian Welch, it's a big game for him. I think because Ross makes the team, Welch gets cut.
Okay.
Um, Aaron Crawford because Travis Jones is hurt, he has to show up because he gonna be out there a lot.
Yeah.
Number 97.
Yeah.
Um, and I would even say Geno Stone to kind of solidifies his position.
And then, not to mention a lot of the players that know they're probably not going to make the team. They're just trying to put some good tape out there.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
it's a lot of teams that's going to be making cuts, and they're going to be looking at these tape because
It's the same.
they know the Ravens. They know the Ravens got a lot of talent on their team, so they come looking for the Ravens cuts.
We're doing the same thing though, right?
Oh, especially at wide receiver.
Yeah, you think the Jets, their second round um pick, I think 2020, what's his name, Mims,
Denzel Mims asked for a trade, I think.
asked for a trade, right?
And you know how Baltimore and New York Jets did.
That's how we do. We sent them Alex Lewis one year, right?
Hmm.
And flipped that into some picks. So, I mean, you never know. It may be a player for a player and a pick for a player. So you trade hypothetically um, a Darius Washington and a fourth round pick. Now, mind you, I think the Ravens are not carrying nothing more than six receivers, right?
Well, you pick 5, so
I'm
there's
leaving it.
room for one more.
uh, I'm leaving. I mean, realistically, I mean, you got Webb who's doing a good job. Um, I don't really see anybody like just jumping off the page to say
Yeah,
they should have a,
you got players making plays here and there, but
nobody.
nobody's jumping off the page like likely is or nothing like that.
Yeah, so I mean, Demarcus Robinson, he's Benjamin Victor, nope. But Demarcus, I mean, it's five: Rashad Bateman, Duvernay, Wallace, Prochet, Demarcus Robinson, Shamar Bridges, Malik Polk, Riley Webb, Benjamin Victor. I don't really like none of them
More,
are.
they already cut more, didn't they?
Yeah,
Hmm.
but that's what I'm saying. Like none of them are really jumping off the page. So
But then back to what you said earlier, you know how the Ravens normally carry 3 tight ends, they're gonna be carrying 4, so
mhm.
that might be where that extra spot comes from.
Well, you see that they're using likely off the
Spread
line of
out.
scrimmage also.
Yeah.
Also, so
I
again, you
mean,
have him and Andrews on the because right now likely is the clear number two tight end,
oh yeah.
right? Without question. Um, Charlie Cola
I'm curious to
probably
see
won't
him
have.
play. Look, I was looking at him on Madden, right?
Mhm.
6'7", 250.
He probably won't have an impact until next year,
Yeah, but I'm curious to see
right? We
how
Get
he
out
do.
get out of Bull contract and keep it pushing. But
Yeah, he's probably the Boyle replacement.
yeah, that's it. But in any case, I think we carry six receivers. I don't think the six receivers on our roster right now.
Mm, okay. So you see either a trade or us picking up somebody that was cut.
Picking up somebody that was cut. But that's the Ravens way, right? That's we do
Mm.
that anyway. We will pick up a cap casualty quick,
But another part of that, if you sign before the season starts, that yearly contract is guaranteed.
guaranteed.
So what they might do is wait till after week 1 to pick up
I,
one of
w-
these.
I would after week one. I mean, you rock with your five right now, and then I mean, literally the contract is week to week.
Yeah, so that's where you might see a Will Fuller. I know a lot of people was talking about Will Fuller or OBJ or somebody like that.
Well, you know how I feel about Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller and who's the dude we just let go that went to Green Bay?
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
One of
Um,
one of our wide receivers went to Green Bay.
hmm Used to play for the Chiefs.
Oh, you talking about Sammy Watkins.
Same guy. Same guy. Sammy Watkins Fuller. That's the whole name. Same guy.
OBJ. Hold on, hold on,
Same
hold on.
guy.
Hold on. I gotta hear this from Justin. Why you say OBJ never? Are you saying he's not a good player, or are you saying he would never come to the Ravens?
I just don't think he would be beneficial this year. He not going to play until maybe week 14, 15. And that's if you're lucky, right? Then he still got to learn.
I don't know about 14, 15. Thinking
Oh,
about midway through the season. We had an
he
ACL
in the
in the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl, so
So February.
Oh yeah, that's a year. That's a year recovery.
right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean, realistically, we're not going to get a lot out of him.
Unless you sign him for a 2-year deal, want to cheat.
I mean, then that's the Juwan James deal right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we talking about like would he give us anything this year? I don't think he's giving us anything this year.
Personality, it's not Ravens mentality. Yeah, I guess I could probably agree with that. But I think when you have that type of contract, there's no risk. If he's not fitting in, you can kind of be done with it.
I think,
Low risk, high reward.
I think, I think OBJ, and it's going to be a crazy analogy, right? OBJ and Kevin Durant, they the same dude, man. They just want to hoop. They just want to play. That's it. OBJ just want to play. Like he wasn't a distraction in Cleveland. His father put that stuff out, right?
Mm-hmm.
He never publicly came out and said anything bad about Baker Mayfield at all. He left and went to the Rams. Still never said anything bad about Baker Mayfield or Cleveland. He just wanna hoop, or he just wanna play.
Right.
Now his quarterback not getting him the ball. What wide receiver do you know that would be cool with that? Right? Not one. Stephon Diggs left his situation because he was complaining that he wasn't getting the ball. They all do it,
Right.
right? So,
Look
but
at Hollywood. Look at Hollywood.
he's not tearing up a team. He's not To like going to the media and saying all this crazy stuff. All of them want the ball,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have a system that's in place that's gonna get him the ball 8 times a game.
Nah, we don't have that kind of offense.
Just don't. Between your tight ends, that's 15
And if
right
we
there.
did, those balls will be going to Bateman.
Yeah. So we, like I said, we don't have a system. Like to come to Baltimore, you have to say you cool with being targeted 7 times a game, maybe having 4 receptions.
7
You,
sound like a lot.
yeah, but you think about Devontae Adams, he get targeted 12 to 15 times a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be cool with 7 targets and possibly 5 receptions.
You say I make the best out of it.
Right. Now, what receiver is going to be okay with that?
Right.
Especially if they are used to being the man.
But when your options are limited,
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But is his options really limited or people want to see how healthy he is?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so there's a lot of talking about he's going to be back by mid-season, but I don't. Now that I think about when he got hurt, I don't see
Right.
that happening.
Right. And just from position wise, that requires a lot of start and stop. You know, we getting people that coming back and they've been out a full year.
I
Marcus
mean,
Peters, full year.
look at Gus, still not back.
Gus, still not back. Right. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's one of those things position wise, he needs that I think they call it a muscle twitch, the ability to switch directions like that. And that's gonna cause some impact on those joints. So he needs to be fully healthy to come back. It's not one of the things he can just tough it out. That's not a tough it out injury.
Yep. All right, so it's 5:10. Charles is about to be headed out. So
Oh yeah, you know where I'm going.
yeah,
Catch me at the bank.
going down to the bank.
Catch me at the bank. And then in 2 weeks, catch me in New Jersey. Right? To go see
9/11
them.
week 1.
Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna be. Anybody want to shoot on up? You can still get tickets. Lower level end zone, 140. Ticketmaster. I'm not selling anything. But yeah.
Yeah, hit Charles inbox if you want some tickets.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna point you to Ticketmaster. I promise you that. But yeah, that's where we at, man. You know, those are my predictions for the roster, man. And I think after they trim the roster down, probably come back to this thing and see who made it and see who got snuffed.
Yeah, let's do another show before the season starts.
Yeah,
We're gonna do we have to do our revisited schedule prediction that we said we was gonna do after the cuts were made, and then
you can see how wrong I was.
I think I'm probably gonna still stick with most of mine, but we'll see. We'll see if anything changes after the night and after we make some additions or subtractions to the roster.
Yeah,
No.
because my Tampa Bay pick going to switch now. Their whole offensive line hurt, so I want to switch
Yeah,
my pick.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. So we're gonna go back to that, and then yeah. So make sure y'all watching on YouTube. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Make sure if you're watching on Facebook right now, make sure you hit that like button, and we'll see y'all sometime next week. Peace.
peace.